Well, I've decided to make a part two to the video I just posted about the first time I met D.B. Cooper, Frankly Morris. The main thing I wanted to tell you was that when I first started writing my book, and I have a copy of it here somewhere, my book, My Dance with the Zodiac Killer, the name of the book was Solved, and I had this elaborate picture to put on the front to show you how I solved the D.B. Cooper case. And at the time, I didn't remember very much about him, except that he'd showed me that comic book and explained about jumping out of the trees. Jumping out of the plane and landing in the trees and some other things about the jump. But anyway, the thing that, well, my book was called Solved, okay? And I was researching some things about him. Every day I would do a little research, a little more research, trying to figure out who my friend in Mexico City was. And one day I came upon a link that said D.B. Cooper had similarities to a masked serial killer, and the mask was a blue link. And it was late, and I said, yeah, I'm going home, you know. So I went home, and I come back the next day, and I started my research again, and I ended up back at that same link. Kind of amazing, huh? I clicked on the link, and my eyes were like, a picture popped up of Frank Morris standing there with the Zodiac Killer uniform on, that hand-drawn picture where he's standing underneath a street lamp in the fog. And because it all started coming back to me, I remember him showing me that suit and that mask in Mexico City. And then I realized that these guys weren't playing around with me. They tried to push me into that room so they could lock me in with the three of them and have their fun. And from there, it just tumbled down. All of the stories he told me, everything started making sense, and more Zodiac Killer stuff, and more Zodiac Killer stuff. And then the Texarkana Moonlight Murders and Alcatraz. He never said he escaped from Alcatraz, but one time he had Clarence wear John's Alcatraz shirt, the ones they escaped in, wore it out there to the road in Mexico City and let me see it. And it said Anglin on one side and Alcatraz on the other. And I figured, well, they bought that I told him, you bought that at the store there at the Alcatraz Museum. He goes, no, we earned it. We earned it. He really liked to point to himself. And that was how my book became more about the Zodiac Killer than D.B. Cooper. And the only murder I have in there besides some Zodiac Killer murders is that Texarkana Moonlight murder. But then I started remembering the one time when I asked him, when was the first time you ever took anybody to be your slaves in hell? And he said, do you ever hear of the Black Dahlia? And then I started, piecing things together. He had got out of prison very shortly after that. They killed the Black Dahlia. They went from there to the Rough Rider Ranch. I forget. I did a whole video on that, and there's a magazine there that I think Frank may have become the artist who actually drew the magazine for this guy. That, from California across to the Four Corners and over to Texarkana to do the Moonlight murders, and then down to Florida to start murdering there. Everything fits together, the timeline and everything else. I've explained it all to you before on other videos, and I don't want to go into all of it tonight. I just wanted to let you know that when I first started out writing my book, it was about D.B. Cooper. For those of you who think that, the naysayers who, you're making all of this up. Well, I didn't make up D.B. Cooper and then turn around and change it to the Zodiac Killer because I thought it'd be a better story. The book was halfway written. I had to throw the whole thing away and start over again. And it was a lot of work writing that book. It took me years to do it. Gee, I wish you guys would buy a copy and read it. Help me out a little bit. I don't get any money for the videos I do on YouTube. I don't have enough subscribers and I don't get enough hits. But yet I'm telling you probably the best story of the century type thing that, you know, no one else can tell because I'm the only one who knew those guys and lived through it. I got to think about what I'm going to tell you tomorrow. That's enough for tonight. Have a good one. Bye-bye.